You ever finish Revenge of the Sith and think, wait a second, how did we get here this fast? Like yeah, Anakin had some anger issues, a sketchy mentor, and a really strong attachment to dramatic monologues. But going full Sith Lord in one afternoon still feels like skipping a few chapters. That's because we did, and those missing pages are buried inside the Clone Wars, where the real damage was done slowly, quietly, and one heartbreak at a time. See, the movies gave us the headlines, but the show gave us the receipts. We're talking about a 7-season deep dive into Anakin's psyche, where every mission looked like a win on the surface, but left another crack underneath. He wasn't just fighting a war, he was unraveling in real time. And the galaxy just kept giving him more reasons to stop trusting it. And the Jedi? Man. The Jedi could not have fumbled this harder if they tried. They saw the anxiety, the defiance, the sleepless nights, and their big solution was to say don't be afraid, like it was a magical spell. No therapy, no heart-to-hearts, just vague proverbs and a firm pat on the back. Meanwhile, Palpatine's out here offering emotional support and probably baking cookies. But here's the kicker. Anakin was still a hero through most of it. He was brave, loyal, terrifying in battle, but still deeply human. And that's what makes it so painful. Watching him win over clone troopers, protect civilians, bond with Ahsoka, and then lose all of it to fear and silence. It's like watching someone build a house you know is going to collapse, and you can't say anything until the credits roll. The show never shouts it, it just shows it, one arc at a time. One choice at a time. You watch him get closer to the edge, and you hope he'll stop. But the war keeps going. The losses keep piling up. And eventually, there's just no room left to breathe. It's not a twist, it's a slow-motion tragedy with lightsabers and sarcasm. In this video, we're going deep into how the Clone Wars secretly told the real story of Anakin Skywalker's fall. Not just the what, but the why. We're going to unpack the betrayals, the emotional landmines, the silent screams between battles, and how a kid who just wanted to save people ended up becoming the most feared villain in the galaxy. When you think of Anakin Skywalker's fall, most people jump straight to Revenge of the Sith. The screaming, the lava, the betrayal. But if you're only looking there, you're missing the slow burn that actually destroyed him. The Clone Wars didn't just fill the gap between movies, it buried the real story in plain sight. And if you blinked, you missed the Jedi unraveling one bad day at a time. What's wild is how casual it all starts. The flashy lightsaber fights, the sarcastic clone banter, the mid-mission flirting with Padma. It lures you in like it's just another animated space adventure. But underneath all that style, there's something darker, something relentless. Every arc pulls another thread in Anakin's moral compass, and by the time we hit Season 7, that thread is holding on by a whisper. You start seeing the cracks early. Anakin doesn't just fight, he dominates. He doesn't just lead, he controls. He saves lives, but never forgets to humiliate his enemies while doing it. And it's that mix of charm and cruelty that becomes impossible to ignore. He's the hero everyone loves, but only because they haven't seen the price yet. And the Jedi Council, they're just there on the sidelines, politely nodding, while Anakin strays further from their teachings every week. They promote him, then scold him, then promote him again, like confused managers trying to fireproof a volcano. The show lets you watch the contradictions in real time, and it does it without ever waving a flag about it. So the real question becomes, was this always the plan? Did the Clone Wars exist not to glorify the war, but to show exactly how it broke him? Piece by piece, choice by choice. What gets under your skin is how many times Anakin's descent could have been stopped, or at least slowed. But the Jedi Order was too busy pretending everything was fine, while Anakin basically speedran his way through every red flag in the galaxy. The Council didn't just miss the signs, they looked straight at them and shrugged. You've got Anakin force-choking prisoners in Season 1. You've got him obsessing over control in every mission. You've got moments where even Obi-Wan gives him that should I be worried face, but then just moves on like it's above his pay grade. The guy cuts through moral lines like they're butter, and nobody pulls the brakes. They just keep handing him medals. And the clones, the clones worship him. Not because he's noble, but because he wins. And that's the problem. In a war built on loyalty and obedience, Anakin's tactics are never questioned, as long as he gets results. It reinforces every unhealthy instinct he has. Dominate the field, save your friends, break the rules if you have to because no one will call you on it. And that's where the real heartbreak kicks in. Because under all the explosions and witty one-liners, the Clone Wars is the quiet tragedy of a man trying to be good in a galaxy that doesn't let him. Anakin doesn't fall because he hates people. He falls because he cares so deeply that it eats him alive. Every loss chips away at him. Waxer and Boyle, Steela Gerrera, even minor characters like Admiral Trench returning again and again as if fate is taunting him. The war keeps recycling pain, and Anakin just keeps swallowing it until there's no room left. And through it all, no one tells him how to grieve, only how to obey. Then there's Ahsoka, his greatest connection and his greatest failure. When she leaves the Order, it doesn't just sting it, shatters him. He trained her, trusted her, believed in her. And when the Jedi tossed her aside, it confirmed everything Palpatine had been whispering in his ear. That the Jedi don't care about people, only power. You can see it in the little things. The way Anakin stares into the distance after she walks away. The silence in his voice when he talks about her. The shift in his posture as the war grinds on. It's not theatrical, it's subtle, but it's devastating. And you realize, for Anakin, trust isn't just broken, it's extinct. By the time Revenge of the Sith starts, the damage is already done. He's not choosing the dark side in that film. He's finishing a transformation that the Clone Wars spent years quietly preparing. But here's what's insane. Even with all that weight dragging him down, Anakin still shines. The Clone Wars doesn't make him look like a villain in waiting, it makes him look like a legend. The kind of general who walks into the worst odds and still walks out with his squad intact. He's clever, commanding, and weirdly funny for a guy carrying this much baggage. When he fights, it's not just choreography, it's a statement. His duel with Dooku in the early arcs. His rescue missions with R2 and Rex. The way he throws himself into danger to protect even one clone. It's not fake heroism, it's raw, chaotic, and it works. You want to believe in him, because in the moment, he makes you believe. His loyalty is unmatched. His friendship with Obi-Wan is complicated, yes, but deeply felt. His love for Padme, while secretive and flawed, feels real. Grounded, human. There's a fire in him that no Jedi ever matched, and for years, it was a light that made people better, not worse. And the animation sells it beautifully. Every season, his expressions grow more haunted. His smiles get tighter. His voice, especially in Matt Lanter's performance, walks that fine line between cocky and cracking. You're not watching a caricature, you're watching a time bomb with a heart. That's the awe of it. The Clone Wars doesn't rewrite Anakin's story. It deepens it, elevates it, gives him layers we never saw in the movies. And when the fall comes, it doesn't feel like a twist, it feels inevitable. And still, somehow, there's hope buried in all of it. Because the Clone Wars shows us that Anakin wasn't doomed from the start. He was reaching, searching for purpose, for connection, for meaning. And for years, he found it in his friends, his apprentice, and even his enemies. You see it when he talks down a separatist without swinging a saber, when he lets a clone disobey orders because he trusts them to do the right thing, when he jokes with Ahsoka in the middle of chaos because he knows laughter still matters. These aren't dark side moments, they're human moments. And even after everything, even after the betrayals and the trauma and the silence from the Jedi, there's still a part of Anakin that holds on, because he wants to be good. He wants to be a protector, not a destroyer. He wants to believe that love doesn't have to be a weakness. That's what makes his fall so powerful. Not because he turned, but because he almost didn't. It's the nearness of redemption that breaks your heart. The idea that, with just one more conversation, one more act of compassion, things could have gone a different way. The Clone Wars didn't erase Anakin's darkness, but it showed us his light, and that light makes all the difference. So when we finally reach Mustafar, when the screams echo through the smoke and the mask slides into place, it hits different now, because the Clone Wars showed us every step that led there. Not just a fall, but a slow descent shaped by war, silence, and fear. It wasn't sudden, it wasn't random. It was built over years of compromise and loss. Every time the Jedi failed to see him, every time the war demanded another piece of his soul, every time someone told him to let go of the things that made him human, it brought him closer to the edge. And when he fell, he didn't fall alone. He took with him the faith of those who followed him, the students who believed in him, the friends who trusted him to always do the right thing. That's the real tragedy. Not the death of a hero, but the betrayal of one by a system that never truly protected him. But the Clone Wars didn't just tell a darker story, it told a deeper one. It reminded us that even the strongest fall, when they're asked to carry everything alone, and that sometimes the biggest explosions don't come from hatred, but from heartbreak. So if you really want to understand why Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader, don't start at the end. Start at the beginning of the Clone Wars, and watch a hero lose his way. Not because he stopped caring, but because no one ever taught him how to let go without breaking. Thank you for watching the whole video. I make videos because of my love for Star Wars and Marvel. I've been asked countless times how I get my subtitles, and I generate them automatically with a tool I built. That same tool can be used here on my website. It's completely free and doesn't require signing up. My website contains the subtitle generator that is perfect for any video. Blogging post, where you can sign up with your email and receive notifications for when I post, and also my 3 channels. Critical Analysis Hub focuses on Star Wars and Marvel movies. Critical Analysis Hub Plus looks at Star Wars and Marvel shows, and Critical Analysis Hub XP centers on video games like The Last of Us series, Jedi Survivor, and GTA 5. Thank you for being a fan.